My fellow foodies, today is the day that we treat ourselves and let our creativity flow. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to make mushroom and goat cheese arancini.
What is arancini?
Arancini are crispy rice balls that are typically stuffed with something delicious.
So tell me, Tara the Foodie, what are these arancinis stuffed with?
Well, let me tell you. In this dish, I'm going to use the earthiness of mushrooms to provide a robust umami undertone. Paired with the tangy creaminess of goat cheese, this combination creates a luxurious and velvety center that melts in your mouth. Hi, I'm Tara the Foodie, and I take the mystery out of cooking for you. Now, let's treat ourselves.
Arancini, my love.
Arancini. So this dish is a chance for me to show you my creativity. A lot of you that are watching me are foodies in some fashion, and many times when we're cooking for others, and we are preparing food that we think our loved ones will enjoy eating. But you know that you've got these things that you've been wanting to make for a while, but no one wants it, or nobody understands why you want to make something that's so different or isn't the norm. But you know, you want to eat something that's different, that's creative, that's what you're craving, what you want to make. And that's what today is all about. Don't worry, this is not going to be hard. I always take the mystery out of cooking for you. So I will take you step by step through how to make arancini, and the end result is so impressive, so special. We are really going to enjoy the tasting at the end of this video. So the first step in making arancini is you want to make kind of a risotto. This is sort of like a risotto, but we're making it like a rice. So the first thing you do is take a 1/4 cup of butter and place it into a pan over medium-high heat. I'm gonna let this butter melt. And to this butter, you wanna add 2 cups of arborio rice. And then just go ahead and stir the rice into the butter so that the rice is completely coated with the butter. And why I have it up to medium-high heat is we are essentially going to toast this rice in this butter for a few minutes to give it that lovely, buttery, nutty flavor.
Tara the Foodie.
Yeah.
I have something very expensive for that hand of yours.
Oh, we've all been waiting for this. What?
You're gonna love this. I want you, Tara the Foodie,
Oh, yes?
to take this truffle oil.
Oh, babe.
Look at that. What a special day.
Oh, babe. So a ring is expensive. Well, so is truffle oil. This is truffle oil. And the jar is not too big. You don't use a lot of truffle oil when you use it in a dish, so a little goes a long way. However, this bottle costs like $22. I find that to be a little crazy. So just be ready to know that when you make this recipe, you're gonna have to spend a little extra money on this ingredient. And it may not be in your grocery store, so depending on where you live, I will also have a link down below so that you can order this on Amazon if you don't think that you can find it in your grocery store.
And you know, one of the points that I wanted to bring up with this recipe is, since it is kind of expensive with this jewel of an oil,
yes,
this is kind of like an FTK recipe. So for anybody that doesn't know what FTK is,
we'll put it on the screen right here, but it is an FTK recipe.
Basically saying treat yourself,
Yes.
foodies.
Don't worry about the kids.
Don't worry.
This is not a recipe you're making for the fam, okay? Wait until the kids are out doing their own thing and they don't care about dinner. Everybody's fending for themselves. It's what we call here in our house, Figure It Out Friday. So you're gonna make this recipe on that evening where it's just you and your loved one, or it's just you. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be with anybody else. It could just be a night that you're staying in, pouring yourself a glass of wine, whatever you're having, and making something delicious to enjoy for yourself. Treat yourself. As you can see,
I can't see.
oh, can you see? Come over here, honey.
Okay, coming in.
All right, as you can see, this rice is looking toasty now. You've got color, brownness on your rice from this delicious butter. So we have toasted this, I don't know, how long's it been since we've been chatting?
6.5 minutes.
I bet you're right. So about that time is all you need to toast your rice. And now it is time to add your liquid. So this is where it's different than risotto, because normally this is what you'd do first, but then you would start to add ladlefuls of hot broth and slowly make a risotto by doing lots of stirring. This is where we're going to transition into making this more like rice. So I am going to add 2.5 cups of chicken broth to this toasted rice. And you are going to bring this to a boil, which I don't think is going to take us too long.
My, you stir that so wonderfully.
Oh, thank you, babe. So once your rice and stock mixture is bubbling, as you can see here, you want to go ahead and turn it down to low and then put the lid on. And then go ahead and let this simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the rice completely soaks up all of that liquid. All right, so we see that the rice has soaked up all of the chicken stock. So I am just going to fluff it up with my spoon here, and it should be al dente. Since we don't see any more liquid in the pan, we know that it's done. You can also take a little bit off your spoon and taste it. And it is al dente. It's soft, but not mushy. You can still taste the individual grains of rice in your mouth. So that's what you want. All right, so now that you've fluffed up your rice, you want to go ahead and flavor it. And this is where the magic happens to this rice base that we're going to use to make our arancini. We're going to season it with some salt and some fresh ground pepper and 1/2 cup of finely grated Parmesan cheese. Now go ahead and stir this up. I feel like I need my right hand. Coating all of this nice hot rice with this Parmesan cheese. Now you add the magic ingredient, which is black truffle oil. You want to just kind of drizzle it on sparingly. When you sniff this oil, it just gives you that feeling like I am about to eat something really good. So I'll just kind of show you how I'm going to drizzle it. You can get the idea. That's about it. You don't want to go crazy. You just want that flavor in there. And if you listen closely, you'll hear the magic when you open the bottle. And then go ahead and stir this up. Now the next thing we want to do is cool this rice down as quickly as possible, because this is the base to the arancini, and we have to be able to handle this rice with our hands and form it into balls. And if it's hot as balls, we cannot do that. So go ahead and take your pot of rice and just turn it out onto a sheet pan. And then just spread it out onto the pan, just so that it will cool down faster for you. And then once you've got it spread out, you can pop this into your refrigerator, or if it's cold outside, just go ahead and put it outside until it is cooled off. So the next step is to prepare your mushroom and goat cheese filling. So first, we have to heat our pan to a medium-high heat, which it's nice and hot. And you want to go ahead and take some extra virgin olive oil and drizzle it into your pan. About one-ish, maybe a little more than 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And then I have 2 small bowls, which is the equivalent of 8 ounces of a wild mushroom mixture. This mixture happens to be baby bella mushrooms, oyster, and shiitake mushrooms. But if you go into your grocery store, a lot of times with the fresh mushrooms, you will see kind of a bulk bin that has a mixture of different wild mushrooms. Grab those, you're good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and add these mushrooms to this hot pan with the oil. And you wanna hear that sizzle. Stir them up so they're all coated with the oil. Okay, now we have a little bit of a golden brown color developing on our mushrooms. We're gonna go ahead and season them now. So I'm gonna take the salt again and just sort of coat the tops with the salt. And then go in with the fresh ground pepper. And again, just dust the tops with the black pepper. And then we're gonna take some dried thyme and take about a half teaspoon or so and add that to the mushrooms and stir.
Yeah, the salt shaker's dancing.
I know, the salt shaker is partying over here.
What is going on with you guys?
So we are going to turn our heat off and we are going to take these mushrooms and our goat cheese back over to the countertop so that we can chop up the mushrooms and then mix in the goat cheese. All right, so we're back at the counter and you want to take the mushrooms out of your hot pot, and I'm just going to take these mushrooms and turn them out onto my cutting board. Then you just want to take your knife and run it through the mushrooms until you've got them pretty finely chopped. Just take your knife and just chop through like this. So once you're left with just little pieces of mushrooms and you don't really see any more big pieces left, I'm gonna go ahead and, ooh, I get to use my tool again. So grab your handy dandy scraper, and if you don't have one, remember you can click on the link right over here to shop my favorite things on tarathefoodie.com, and I have this as well as a whole bunch of other things that you see me use in every video that you can go ahead and click on and purchase for your kitchen. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop these up, and look how freaking amazing and helpful that is. And just put them right back in this warm pan because it's gonna help us to kind of melt the cheese a little bit into our mushrooms. Okay, so now take your goat cheese, and I chose the herbed goat cheese variation. And I've got 2 4-ounce pieces of goat cheese. So 8 ounces of mushrooms, 8 ounces of goat cheese. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this goat cheese, put it on my cutting board first, because I want to cut it into smaller pieces. So just take your knife and just roughly chop up this goat cheese. Get your scraper again and place the goat cheese into your warm pot. And then just stir it up. And just kind of use your spoon to break up the goat cheese, to stir in your mushrooms, press down a little bit, make it into a nice combined mixture. Now it's all mixed up, and we'll go ahead, put it right back in this bowl. Oh, you get.
I saw that.
Oh, babe.
Oh, geez.
Well, I can't eat this without you trying it. My goodness.
Yeah.
I'll get you a Juicy Joe size piece. There you go. Don't drop it. Good, huh? Yeah, so you can go ahead and set this aside until you're ready to stuff this into the middle of your arancini rice balls. The next step in this recipe is to make your black truffle aioli. We are going to start with your favorite jarred mayonnaise, 1 cup of mayonnaise, and in that bowl, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of glorious black truffle oil. Is there a genie in there? Do we get wishes? So we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of this glorious black truffle oil. Pour that in. Then we're gonna add 1 clove of garlic, and you gotta get one of these. I don't know what else to tell you. You wanna sit around and smash this and mince it and waste all your life? Or do you wanna just stick it in here and crush it through? Shop my favorite things. Get yourself a garlic mincer. Pause this. Okay, all right. Now that you're back and you've bought your garlic mincer, we'll go ahead and press it into our bowl. Hopefully it doesn't attack us. We're gonna hit it with just a pinch of, I'm just using kosher salt, just a little, just to wake up the flavors. And then I have 1.5 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice, and then just hit it with some fresh ground pepper. And then just grab a whisk and whisk it up until it's nice and creamy. Start slow so you don't fling expensive oil everywhere. Each drop of this costs like 50 cents. You should smell this, my goodness. So just go ahead and set this aside until you need it for when we go to plate this beautiful dish. Our next step is now to put together our breading station and form our rice balls or our arancini so that we can bread them and be ready to fry them up. What I have here is 4 eggs. And to those eggs, you want to add 3 tablespoons of flour and 1/2 cup of milk. And then whisk it up until it is a smooth, thin batter. Break my yolks up. Try not to shower myself with flour. Set this down, and this is your breading station. You're wet and you're dry. Now it's time to form the arancini balls and bread them up. Welcome to my arancini making station. So we've made the breading portion of our station. We've got our eggs, flour, and milk mixture. And then we've got our seasoned panko breadcrumbs. You want about 2 cups of them. I've got my mushroom and goat cheese filling here all ready to go. You are going to grab 1/2 cup and have this to measure the amount of rice that you want to grab to form your ball that you'll make into your arancini. And then you need another sheet pan for a place to put your formed rice balls. And as you can see, I've already made one here. So this is about the size that they're going to be. All right, so first you're going to take your 1/2 tablespoon and we're going to make little filling balls, basically. So you're gonna take, probably like a heaping 1/2 tablespoon, roll it into a ball and set it down on your cutting board or wherever. So it's ready for you to grab when you're ready to put it into your arancini. With the sizes, it's really up to you. You wanna make them tinier, you can. You wanna try and make them bigger, you can.
Versatility. Versatility
in this recipe. You can be creative, for sure. If you have leftover of this, put it on a piece of toast.
Yeah.
Or just use more inside of it, Okay, so we've got some balls. We're gonna get to making the bigger arancini here. So take about 1/2 cup, get it in the palm of your hand. Start forming it into a ball. Make a well in the middle so that you can place your ball of mushroom and goat cheese. And then you're gonna take a little more, just grab a little more of the rice to kind of cover it up, and you're just gonna start forming it around it, basically. So now that I have everything in there, it's sticking together really nicely. So once it's a ball, place it down onto your sheet pan and move on to making as many as you can. To bread these, you're going to take a rice ball and just put it into your wet mixture. And I'm gonna take a spoon actually, and just kind of bathe it in this mixture to keep my hands clean so I don't bread myself. And just make sure that you really get it all over. Once it's coated, take that arancini, let the extra drip off, and put it down into your breadcrumbs. And now, with your dry hands, you can make sure you get your Italian seasoned panko breadcrumbs all over it so that it's nice and coated. And once that is breaded, you can pop that back over onto your sheet pan and then do the rest. Looks great, doesn't it? We're doing it.
It reminds me of the Scotch egg, babe.
It does. I was thinking the same thing. It does remind me of the Scotch egg too. And you gotta watch the Scotch egg video.
Yes, definitely give the Scotch egg.
Yeah.
Oh,
Link up here. click on the Scotch egg video, get that all queued up to watch next after this. And I'll make sure to link it at the end of this video too for you to watch. And now let's go over to the stove and fry these babies up. All right, so our oil is up to temperature and it's time to fry up these arancini. So I'm just going to take one of the balls and lower it down into the oil carefully. Take another one. So let them fry and get golden brown on all sides, and then take them out and drain them on some paper towels. Okay, we are to our final scene, our final step, and that is to plate the mushroom and goat cheese arancini and then enjoy it. And don't skip this step. Just because you are making this for possibly just yourself or for yourself and significant other, you know, just for you two to eat, take the time and plate it. You want all these components on your plate anyway to really enjoy this. And it really is special, especially to us foodies, to eat something that looks beautiful before we even take a taste. To plate this beautiful dish, you want to take your black truffle aioli that you made earlier, and you want to take a spoonful and place that in the middle of your plate. And next, you want to take an arancini, a beautiful fried warm arancini, and place it down into your bed of black truffle aioli. And then go ahead and take some of your finely grated Parmesan cheese and sprinkle it over the top, just enough to make it beautiful. And then finally, chop up some fresh parsley so that you can sprinkle a little bit of that on the top as well. And this is my mushroom and goat cheese arancini. And now it's my favorite time of every video, time to taste. So let's go ahead and cut into our arancini. Attempt not to completely, there we go. You can kind of see the inside there. It's nice and warm. You've got the mushrooms, the goat cheese going through it. And take a taste. You hear the crunch, right? This is exactly what I was going for. It is so wonderfully crunchy and flavorful on the outside. And then in the inside, it's this soft, pillowy rice with this glorious goat cheese mushroom mixture. You can taste the truffle oil. You've got your black truffle aioli underneath. It is just a beautiful flavor. It's worth the effort. And really, you saw the steps. It wasn't that hard. There's just a few steps you go through and you can create something really special, really beautiful, and really tasty to eat. Enjoy your arancini. Take that time for yourself every once in a while and do something for yourself that is really what you want. I'm Tara the Foodie, taking the mystery out of cooking for you, and I will see you next time. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes or so, so let's go ahead and check the rice.
You know what, I gotta say something.
What?
You can always tell when you take a little break because your hair's all nice and fluffed up when you come back.
Shut the fuck up. Look.
I'm not trying to give away
I'm trying to
any
look good
secrets.
on camera. These are our what did you call them? Like electric salt shakers? They're battery powdered. Battery powdered.
In today's episode of Tongue Twisted Tara,
I know.
we have
battery powdered
battery
salt
powered
shakers.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. I think it's a good time to remind the viewers
Yes.
that everything that you
What I was
find
about
in
to
these
say.
drawers,
Yes.
really,
Yes, honey.
honey, are you reading the same script I'm reading?
Yeah.
Me and you, right here.
We share a mind, you
Yes.
know.
Freshly poofed hair.
Freshly. You gotta fix the hair before every scene, babe. It's called being a star.
Yeah.